All right, click the links and you'll have clicked the links to Subscribestar and other stuff on Odyssey, Bit Chute, etc. So, it's funny the stuff that comes from the left and the lack of self-awareness when you point out, like, so you guys are on the left, and you're saying some things that it seems like, it doesn't seem like these would be left-wing positions. Essentially, you're advocating for things, to say this carefully, for groups to have very tight in-group preferences, for people to stay in their lane. Because listen, nobody wants to be patronized too. If you're saying one group can't comment on another group's whatever creative endeavors, which oddly enough this was created by George Lucas, which is an English name. I mean, really, like, this is an argument. The issue, rule, analysis, conclusion. This is the argument of your argumentative phase of your structure. It sounds like a conclusion, but you haven't actually carried this out to the conclusion yet. And let's carry this out to its logical conclusion, because it seems like there are other groups who would agree with you that, oh yes, people should stay among their own kind, essentially. Are you talking about like ethno-states in movies? Is that kind of what you're saying? Because that really sounds like what you're saying, which is fine. Hey, I'm not saying it's good or bad, but let's take the mask off your argument here and shine a light on it. Because I mean, so the reverse of your argument is also true, that the same would apply to like I was going to say Lord of the Rings, because that is a European story. So should non-European people not be able to review Lord of the Rings or criticize European actors or European stories? Or I mean, that's your logical argument, right? And the thing is, he says, in case you're not watching, this reviewer, John Rocha, idiot. And I say idiot, I don't mean that hyperbolically. I mean because he has this argument that he hasn't thought all the way through, and then he has to backtrack, and he kind of buries himself on Twitter and later deletes the tweet because he realizes, like, oh, so, I mean, carry it out to its logical conclusion, and, if rules for thee are also rules for me, so it applies to everyone. And like, really, it seems like presumably he's on the far left. You're also in agreement, I guess, the horseshoe theory. You're kind of in agreement with the far right of saying, oh yeah, different people should do different things. They shouldn't be around each other. Good fences make good neighbors, including in the entertainment sphere. If something is just pointless and stupid as a Star Wars show, and Star Wars is pointless and stupid, he goes, some people might get upset at me, but if I see a review that features all European people, I'm going to call it out. Why would one group of people not be able to review a show? First of all, the show, Disney Plus series, I don't think I'm not hearing a buzz about it. I'm not hearing a buzz about Disney in general. I'm gonna guess the antagonists are going to be fair, probably overrepresentation of fair, blonde European people, maybe even speaking in an English accent. Possibly, I think German would be a little bit too on the nose for them, but they're going to be of European descent, probably. And the protagonists are not. They're going to be non-European people. I'm just guessing. Just throwing this wild guess out there that you're going to see a whole lot more darker features on the quote-unquote good guys. Which in this case, I look at that and go, oh, I'm just rooting for the Empire. I hope they... Always, if you get on Twitter, it's like, always root for the Empire and Vader, # did nothing wrong sort of thing. Like, you guys are rooting for the fascists. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. How dare you, sir? Yeah, but you guys are the anti-fascists, right? So, I mean, anything you guys are against have got to be the good guys. I mean, you think about it that way. If Star Wars came out now, it's like, yeah, we'd all be dressed up like those stormtroopers or something. It would be, I mean, the memes would be fantastic if original Star Wars came out now. So nobody wants to be patronized, too, by... you can look up his picture. He looks... a very fair-skinned... Your thing is, calling somebody Latino... You're talking about Latin American countries that went to the New World 500 years ago. There are people in New World, not Latin American countries, who are pure Europeans living in Latin America. They like, what makes the difference between like a pure Spanish person, a pure European Spanish person living in South America, any different? His capacity to review a movie, how would it be different if he was German living in Latin America or living in Germany? Why would he not be able to review a movie? I mean, carry your argument out to its logical conclusion. That's why I call you stupid, because you haven't done that, because you see, like, like, should I, like, suit myself up in Hugo Boss and march around Argentina? Because it seems like you have a lot in agreement with people who say, yeah, we should really be doing our own things and not hang out with these Untermensch. Oh, okay. I mean, take the mask off. Like, say it loud for the people in the back. Like that's what you're like. Just swap these words around for different people. And the first thing is the review. Very few people are watching Star Wars. Disney Star Wars is over. Disney started shooting itself with the Disney trilogy, and then Solo came out, and that was a bomb. And then the Disney Plus stuff is like, nobody gives a shit about Disney Plus. I don't know the numbers. You're gonna find out the numbers in a few years when, I don't know, 5 years, 10 years, Disney decides to the board finally go, or the big shareholders get together and go like, okay, we got to turn this around. We can't continue to hemorrhage money. Like Disney, the thing about Disney is they have so much money, they can lose money for 5 or 10 years, just continue to bleed off. Even though they paid a lot for Star Wars, it's like, it should have been a cash cow. It should have been insane cash cow. Not just the movies and the Disney Plus, but all the other crap that comes along with the T-shirts. You'd be surprised. I know you probably wouldn't be surprised because you're in the pop culture sphere, but like T-shirts and comic books and fan magazines and stuff where you have a cool property. EVS and Comicsgate, the guy sells, like $30 hats with, some stupid little insignia on them, and T-shirts and just crap, like, I know he's not listening to it. It's like, I don't mean him specifically. I mean people, it's like you're just selling crap, like made in China, just the cheapest Chinese plastic garbage. And people are like, oh yeah, $60 for a made in China whatever toy. It's like, oh, okay, great. It's like Disney bypassed all that by making this culturally sensitive and diverse and woke. And so you're saying like a lot of non-European people are going to be the good guys, the ragtag found family. It's a communist, it's a globalist, a Bolshevik theory about the found family, because they want you rootless. I mean, there's a lot more to it, but that's kind of that concept of globalism. It's always going to be this diverse ragtag group of mixed non-European people fighting a group of European people. I mean, how many times do you have to see that before you finally clicks to go? Not just the blonde thing. When I say blonde, that's kind of a euphemism for all European people. But it's like that Nordic Aryan stereotype is their highest. Their highest. It's like an angel and demon to them, all wrapped up in one. So why you're going to see an over representation. So even without watching Andor, am I right? Like, if you've seen the first 4 episodes, if you drew a line on a piece of paper and put protagonist and antagonist, is one side darker than the other, or is it a perfectly even mixture? In fact, not only that, but if you did that through a bunch of other shows, you notice that the dark is on one side and the fair is on the other side, and the fair characters are always bad, or there's an overrepresentation of evil, malicious, cruel, stupid, and incompetent, but also simultaneously super genius, fair-skinned characters on one side. So that's a review for Andor, and I haven't even seen it. Oh, you want to bet that I'm correct? Go, you can go find it online if you wish to prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. I'm sure. No, I don't think you'd be able to prove me wrong. Anyway, so migrant experience. Most people in America have come from migrants. Very few people from the original colonists. Most people are, Irish, Polish, German, other various parts of all over the world came here as migrants. Because my grandma came from Ireland, I'm capable of reviewing this better than if I'm traced to the original like 500 years ago. Like, think through your logical argument. Like, where does your conclusion go? We should have different movies for different people. Hey, fine, knock yourself out. I don't know, judge. I'm not attaching a judgment call to that. But if that's truly what you believe, and that's clearly what you believe, because listen, nobody wants to be patronized to. If you tell like one group, oh yeah, Europeans can't review these films, well then why the fuck would they watch them? And when it came from George Lucas, I think an Englishman. Lucas is an English, at least Lucas Electronics, dealing with old Jaguars and whatnot. It was an English company. So the European created the story, but now Europeans can't discuss the story. It seems like these European people are such gods to you that it doesn't matter if it's Lucas's Star Wars, where this international collection of blood-sucking parasites known as Disney had to buy the thing for $4 billion, or Lord of the Rings, they had to buy one of the stories of Lord of the Rings. But it's like, yeah, that was also created by an Englishman, Tolkien. Or Hans Christian Andersen, 1831, The Mermaid. It's like that was I don't know where he was, a European guy. It seems like these guys that created the stories, and now you're subverting and corrupting them to make modern Disney Plus series. Like you look at Disney Plus series, you go, this doesn't look like the original series at all. Oh, we're updating it. Yeah, but are you making it better? We're making it more progressive. Yeah, but that means it's crap. That means you're making it crap. Are you an istophobe? Without ad hominem and deflection, can you address the argument of why replacing European characters from the European created stories? Oh, sir, no, we can't. That is a bridge too far. Ad hominem is pretty much ad hominem, straw man, poisoning the well, all those logical fallacies you learned about. That's pretty much everything, every left-wing argument. That's why they censor and deplatform, because they know that open marketplace concept, the best ideas rise to the top, the harsh, disinfecting sunlight of cross-examination, rebuttal, and whatnot. Yeah. They don't have the better argument. That's why they have to censor and deplatform. Oh, or they make such asinine statements like this, and they don't like to think through what kind of hubris do you have to put a tweet out there and not immediately something so friggin' stupid, and not immediately see how you would go. Oh, so like let's change these groups around. Oh, well that's not right. Yeah, I mean it seems like how is this any different than the other groups of people who are also advocating something similar? Oh, I'm a good guy because I'm on the left. I'm on the left. Yeah, I'm a. Okay, so how is your gulag any different than their gulag? It's a good question. CNN told me I'm the good guy. Yeah, interesting. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe. See you guys all next episode.